What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Orchestration. In this week, we're going to do something slightly different. Frozen fever will soon be upon us, for better or for worse, and Disney recently released the trailer for the second movie. Now, my daughters love Frozen, so for fun, I made a mock-up of the trailer music, and I wanted to share that with you, break it down a little bit, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Alright? So, software-wise, I'm using Spitfire Albion 1. I don't have a large sample library, but this one is perfect for this, as well as some native instruments, choir, some backup, and then I'm using the Sound Iron Voice of Gaia for the vocal that comes in later on in the melody. Now, I would love to play for you my rendition of it, but because I'm a copyright, I'm going to avoid that. So we'll go snippet by snippet, and down in the description you can find a link to my SoundCloud, and you can listen to the whole thing. And I'll also leave a link for the original trailer, so if you want to compare and contrast, you're free to do so. Alright, so let's jump right in here. So the opening of the song is going to open up with an A minor and an F major swelling, right? And I'm playing basically fifths. I'm not necessarily playing an A minor, A, E, A, and then that's going to change to A, F, A. So let's give that a listen. Perfect little swells of the A minor and F chord, kind of sets up the mood, right? In the trailer itself, you see Elsa standing on the beach. She's looking like she's going to try something. You don't really know what's going on. Okay, and then we're going to move to the next part, and we're going to start our build-up, right? Get some stabs. Let's listen to that. So here we have some stabs that are coming in, and I'm basically playing fourth, E, and A. And underneath that we have some swells on the B, on the G, F sharp. Alright, and like I said, we were playing that A minor, F harmony, and now we're kind of transitioning to a B7 chord. And you'll see that a lot because we kind of jump back and forth between an A minor and an A major kind of sound. So this B7 is essentially going to act like our secondary dominant. It's going to be our tension chord. Okay? And then in the trailer itself, you know, Elsa runs out and crashes in the ocean. That's the first time it comes down. And then we move on, and this is where we start really building up to the high point of the trailer. So let's give it a listen. Boom. Okay, so now we have some interesting musical development going on, right? So we have the ostinatos that come in on the strings, and here we're basically moving through that harmony, A minor, F, and then the B7, right? So I don't have the right articulation set up here, but you guys will get the gist, right? So it's A, E, stepping up with the B and the C. We transition to the F chord, it's A and F. Now we're going to go to the B7 chord, and we're going to start outlining that chord, right? So we get the B and the F sharp, A and C. The A would be the 7th, the C would be the 9th, and then you're going to add, and there's our B7 chord, where we reach the D sharp and the A. Okay? On top of that, we have the violins doing a little bit of a run before they just meld into the ostinato. And there you're just outlining the A minor triad. You're going to go E, D, C, A. Right? So it's an A minor triad with a D in there. Then you're going to step up stepwise from the G sharp. G sharp, A, B, C, right? And what's cool about this one scene, because when the ostinato kicks in, right, Elsa in the trailer is trying again, right? She gets more determined. She's trying to do something on the ocean. We don't really get it, right? She starts casting her magic, and she's going to crash underneath that. And that's that second swell that we just heard. Let's check that out again. Crash. as you see, it's mostly the same. The ostinato is really what carries it. The percussion comes in, that adds more layer to it, and then the choir starts sneaking in underneath it. And essentially the harmony is the same for the most part, except right at the end, we're going to sneak into a D chord, right? You're going to go from the A minor to the F to a D chord, right? And underneath it you have the swells of the A, G sharp, D, right? And then the high strings are going to build a little sequence that leads into the vocal melody. A really simple idea is just A, G sharp, B, G sharp. And that leads us right into the vocal melody, which is the Frozen theme. It's the song from the first one. They bring it back. In the trailer itself, it's kind of the high point of the trailer. Elsa's throwing her magic around, and people are getting thrown around, and you're getting brought into the adventure. So now, the vocal melody, I'm using the Sound Iron voice of Gaia. They were awesome enough to send it over to me, and it was absolutely perfect for what I needed it to do. Now, this program, this plugin, I'm going to do a demo on it, featured in a totally different way, so be sure to check that out. That'll be coming out real soon. But essentially, this plugin, you have 4 different vocalists, and you can do syllables and sounds and runs. It's way more in-depth than what I'm actually using it here. And here, since I actually can't have it sing words, I tried to emulate the syllables and the consonances of the vowels and the words that are going on. Right? So I would mix in a bunch of different syllables together and have that running through. So let's give that a listen. That's that. And so the harmony underneath it, the ostinato, right, is basically 2 little minor chords. You're basically going A and F sharp, B and G sharp. And all the instruments, the brass, the woodwinds, and the chorus underneath it are just there supporting that harmony, right? And then the vocal melody kicks in. And the notes, it starts on A, and essentially you're using A major pentatonic or F sharp minor pentatonic, however you'd like to think about it. So it's right on A. Right, A, B, C sharp. Right? And then you have the big horn, the brass melody that supports it, comes in underneath it, it swells in. And that essentially leads us to the outro section. And here you have the high strings kick in a nice little sequence pattern on an A major spread triad. So it's C sharp, A, E. Then that upper note changes, D, E, and everything is kind of stepping up into this E chord, and the choir underneath it steps up scale-wise, A, B, C sharp, D, E. Right, we're all everybody's kind of leading up to hanging on this one B, and the high strings kind of kick in and do this little third sequence. And then it leaves you as a cliffhanger, and everybody's hanging on that B. Screen goes blank. A little November comes up on the screen. And a little soft little pluck resolves everything. And there you go. Frozen 2, a little virtual orchestration, mock-up trailer. It was a lot of fun to do. I would like to do more of this kind of things. Hopefully you guys are into it. I might be working on the Rise of Skywalker, which is really fun. Star Wars, everybody loves Star Wars. So let me know if you guys want to see that. Down in the description below, you can have a link to the SoundCloud. You can check out my rendition of it, as well as the original trailer. And as always, let me know what you come up with. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.